Half-Life Alyx is a groundbreaking VR game that completely immerses you in the world of City 17. You play as Alex Vance and use your hands to interact with the environment, solve puzzles, and fight off terrifying enemies like headcrabs and combine soldiers. The graphics are amazing, and the world feels so real you'll forget you're in a game. The gameplay is super innovative with realistic physics that let you throw objects, manipulate tools, and even rummage through shelves for supplies. The combat is intense and satisfying, whether you're using your trusty gravity gloves to catch grenades or blasting away enemies with a shotgun. Half-Life Alyx is an absolute must-play for any fan of the series or anyone looking for a truly immersive VR experience. Animal Well is one of those games where you start off completely lost, but then as you keep exploring, everything starts making sense. And that feeling is just so satisfying. It's a puzzle platformer that drops you into this quiet but mysterious world filled with strange creatures and hidden secrets everywhere. The game doesn't explain much, so you have to experiment and figure things out, which makes every discovery feel super rewarding. The only downside is that it can be a little too cryptic at times, so if you don't like getting stuck, you might find it frustrating. But if you enjoy a game that respects your curiosity, this is an amazing experience.
Mark this. He's not just any monkey. He's a monkey of merit.
Black Myth: Wukong is an action RPG that dives deep into Chinese mythology, letting you play as the Monkey King with crazy, shape-shifting abilities and powerful magic. The combat is intense and feels really satisfying, especially when you master the dodges and counters. I was really impressed by how smooth the animations are, making every move feel impactful. Visually, the game looks stunning with its detailed environments and fluid animations, which make every fight feel epic. But some of the enemy encounters can feel a bit repetitive after a while. Still, the storytelling and unique setting keep you hooked. If you love challenging action RPGs, this one is definitely worth checking out.
We have a great show for you here tonight. Alan Wake, one of my all-time favorite writers, and this on the show.
Alan Wake 2 is a long-awaited follow-up that's worth the wait, especially if you're a fan of Remedy's past games like Control and Max Payne. It's a blend of single-player adventure, survival horror, and cinematic storytelling. Players control two characters, Saga Anderson, an FBI agent investigating eerie murders in a small town, and Alan Wake, trapped in a nightmarish version of New York. The game is challenging with limited resources, tense combat, and smart AI that keeps you on edge. Environments are beautifully designed, mixing creepy woods with atmospheric towns and surreal nightmare worlds. The flashlight mechanic adds tension, and the detective work in Saga's story is immersive. While newcomers may need some context, Alan Wake 2 excels with its thrilling gameplay, stunning visuals, and gripping narrative, making it possibly Remedy's best game yet. Forza Horizon 5 is a ridiculously fun racing game that lets you drive hundreds of amazing cars through a beautiful recreation of Mexico. You can race against other players online or explore the huge open world at your own pace, discovering hidden areas and completing cool challenges. The graphics are incredible, and the cars look and sound so real, you can practically smell the burning rubber. There are tons of different races and events to keep you busy, like street races, off-road rallies, and even crazy stunt challenges. You can customize your cars with different paint jobs and upgrades, and you can even buy and sell cars with other players in the game's auction house. While the game can sometimes feel a bit overwhelming with so much to do, and the always-online requirement can be a bit annoying, Forza Horizon 5 is still one of the best racing games ever made. It's a must-have for any car enthusiast or fan of open-world games. Brothers: A Tale of Two Sons is an adventure game that takes you on a journey with two brothers trying to save their father. And the way the game makes you control both at the same time is something I've never really seen before. The puzzles are really clever, and as you go through different places, everything feels like a fairy tale, but in a way that also has some dark and emotional moments. The game is pretty short, so it doesn't overstay its welcome, but it's also one of those experiences that stick with you even after you finish playing. The only thing that might feel strange at first is the controls, but once you get used to them, it feels amazing.
Damn vacuum. Come on, we have to find Rose before she leaves.
It Takes Two is a unique co-op adventure, playable only with a friend. You'll journey as a couple turned into dolls solving puzzles and overcoming challenges in a magical world. The gameplay is constantly changing with exciting new mechanics around every corner. Experience thrilling moments like riding toy airplanes and battling giant squirrels in a vacuum cleaner. It Takes Two is creative and funny with a heartwarming story about love and relationships. While requiring two players and good communication, It Takes Two is an unforgettable co-op experience. This game is a must-play for anyone looking for a fun and unique adventure to share with a friend. The Last of Us is a masterclass in storytelling and gameplay, redefining what video games can achieve as a narrative medium. Set in a post-apocalyptic world teeming with danger, the game immerses players in a harrowing journey that blends brutal survival mechanics with a deeply emotional story. At its core, the game tells the story of Joel and Ellie, an unlikely pair thrust together by circumstances and bonded by survival. The progression of their relationship, set against a bleak and terrifying backdrop, is the emotional heart of the experience. Whether navigating eerie sewers, braving snowy landscapes, or surviving in overrun suburbs, the journey is as much about their evolving bond as it is about the threats they face. The gameplay is equally impressive. Every encounter feels raw and desperate, whether you're conserving scarce ammo, crafting tools, or resorting to brutal melee combat. The game forces you to adapt to its unforgiving world. The tension is heightened in moments like sneaking past clickers or making split-second decisions to survive encounters with humans and infected alike. This balance between stealth and all-out combat ensures that no two scenarios feel the same. Ultimately, The Last of Us isn't just about surviving a brutal world. It's about the humanity that endures within it. From its gripping gameplay to its unforgettable characters, it's no wonder the game remains a standout in the minds of players even a decade later. This is a journey that sticks with you long after the credits roll. Final Fantasy VII Rebirth continues the epic adventure with stunning graphics and even more exciting twists and turns. The combat is a blast, mixing action and strategy to make each battle feel truly epic. Explore a massive world filled with bustling cities and dangerous dungeons while experiencing an emotional story that will stay with you long after the credits roll. It's awesome to see what happens to Cloud and his friends after they leave Midgar. While the game can feel a bit linear and some story choices might divide fans, the Final Fantasy VII Rebirth is still an unforgettable experience. This thrilling adventure with amazing visuals and a captivating story is a must-play for any RPG fan. Death Stranding is a really unique game, and I gotta say it was quite the experience. Some people might call it a walking simulator, and yeah, you do spend a lot of time trekking across this crazy landscape, but it's not just about that. You're like this delivery guy in a post-apocalyptic world where everything is super weird and you have to connect these isolated cities. It's kind of slow-paced, but it's also really beautiful and atmospheric with some crazy creatures and this really cool story about connections and stuff. The gameplay can be a bit repetitive, I guess, like you're always balancing your cargo and trying not to fall over, which can get a little old. But honestly, I kind of found it relaxing in a weird way, and the story kept me hooked. Plus, the online thing, where you can see other players' structures and stuff, is really cool. It's definitely not going to be for everyone, but if you're looking for something different and you don't mind a bit of a slower pace, Death Stranding might surprise you. Hollow Knight is a beautiful Metroidvania with a haunting atmosphere. Explore the vast underground kingdom of Hallownest as a silent knight uncovering its secrets and battling deadly foes with your trusty nail. The hand-drawn art style and haunting soundtrack create a truly unique and immersive experience. Combat is tight and responsive, demanding skill to master. Gain new abilities and spells to reach new areas and overcome challenging bosses. Discovering hidden paths and upgrades is incredibly rewarding, but be warned, this game is tough and the map can be confusing. Still, Hollow Knight is a must-play for fans of the genre and anyone seeking a unique and unforgettable gaming experience. Elden Ring is a massive, challenging open-world RPG that combines difficulty with an expansive world that encourages exploration. Players take on the role of a Tarnished, journeying through a land filled with conflict, mysterious characters, and tough boss battles. The game offers deep customization, allowing players to build their character with a variety of classes and abilities. Combat is deliberate with new features like a jump button and guard counterattacks. The open world, accessible through a mount called Torrent, offers tons of secrets to discover. Although it can be difficult and at times frustrating, the game rewards curiosity and offers freedom to explore at your own pace. The visuals are stunning, though some minor performance issues exist, especially on PC. Overall, Elden Ring feels like a game-changing evolution in the RPG genre, offering something for both newcomers and veterans alike.
And they will die in an unending curse.
What's the matter, Stray? Nothing left to lose?
Sekiro Shadows Die Twice is a challenging but rewarding action-adventure game from the creators of Dark Souls and Bloodborne. You play as a shinobi called Wolf, who is on a quest for revenge in a beautiful and mythical version of ancient Japan. Get ready for intense sword fights where you need to be fast and precise to deflect attacks and find the perfect moment to strike. The game has a unique grappling hook that lets you zip around the world and explore its secrets. You'll need to learn new skills and find powerful tools to defeat tough enemies and bosses. Sekiro is a tough game, but it's also fair, and overcoming its challenges is incredibly satisfying. If you like action games and aren't afraid of a little difficulty, then this game is a must-play. Cuphead, the delicious last course, is a real treat for fans of the original game because it takes everything that was awesome about it and turns it up to 11. Like, the animation is even more incredible with that classic cartoon style, and the music is just as catchy and fun to listen to. Plus, it adds a bunch of new levels and bosses that are some of the most creative and challenging ones yet. So get ready for some serious controller-throwing moments. But the best part is, you get to play as Miss Chalice, this brand new character with her own cool moves and abilities that make the game feel fresh and exciting, like a double jump and a dash move that lets you avoid attacks. But be warned, some of these bosses are seriously tough and might make you want to pull your hair out, but if you love the original Cuphead, you absolutely have to check out the delicious last course. Dead Island 2 is a hilarious, gore-filled sequel that doesn't take itself seriously, and that's part of its charm. Set in a stunningly detailed and absurd version of LA, the game boasts ridiculously good graphics that make its blood-soaked melee combat and apocalyptic setting pop. You'll hack, slash, and drop-kick your way through zombie hordes as one of 6 playable characters. The story feels like a cheesy B-movie with sarcastic writing, colorful characters, and over-the-top quests, like slaying zombies for a clout-chasing influencer or fighting bee-infested undead. While combat starts strong with modded melee weapons and superhuman abilities, its repetitive nature and lackluster guns fall short. Multiplayer adds much-needed fun, though technical bugs and an unpolished feel detract from the experience. Dead Island 2 may not reinvent the zombie genre, but its humor, irreverent tone, gorgeous visuals, and co-op chaos make it worth a bloody good time.
Ashley, run!
Resident Evil 4 Remake takes the survival horror masterpiece and elevates it to a whole new level with stunning visuals and modernized gameplay. Step back into the shoes of Leon S. Kennedy as he faces hordes of Ganados in a truly terrifying and immersive experience. The environments are incredibly detailed and atmospheric, from the eerie village to the imposing castle and the terrifying island.
One down.
The combat is intense and visceral, with brutal melee attacks and satisfying gunplay that will keep you on your toes. You'll need to use every weapon in your arsenal and strategically manage your resources to survive the onslaught of enemies. The remake also introduces new features like side quests and expanded areas, giving you even more to explore and discover. This game is a thrilling and terrifying adventure that perfectly captures the spirit of the original while delivering a fresh and unforgettable experience. Ori and the Will of the Wisps is a beautiful and emotional game with amazing graphics and music that will make you feel like you're in a dream. You play as Ori, a cute little spirit creature who has to save the forest from a dark evil, and along the way you'll meet interesting characters and explore a huge world filled with secrets and challenges. The controls are tight and responsive, and the platforming is super satisfying with lots of cool abilities to unlock that. Let you do amazing things like double jump and dash through the air. The story is really well told and will pull at your heartstrings, and the gameplay is challenging but fair. Although some of the escape sequences can be a bit frustrating at times. Overall, Ori and the Will of the Wisps is a must-play for fans of platforming games or anyone who wants an unforgettable adventure that is both heartwarming and exciting. So if you're looking for a game that will stay with you long after you finish it, this is definitely one to check out. Stalker 2, Heart of Chornobyl throws you into a harsh and unforgiving world where survival is key. Explore the Chernobyl exclusion zone, a place filled with dangerous mutants, deadly anomalies, and other stalkers, all competing for survival. You'll need to scavenge for supplies, manage your resources, and make tough choices to stay alive in this unforgiving environment. The game features a massive open world with dynamic weather and day-night cycles that create a truly immersive experience. Uncover the secrets of the zone, complete dangerous missions, and encounter memorable characters as you explore this atmospheric and captivating world. This game is not for the faint of heart, but if you're looking for a challenging and rewarding survival experience, this game is a must-play. Rogue Legacy 2 takes everything you loved about the original and makes it even better with a huge, vibrant world to explore and tons of new features. You'll play as a descendant of a noble family, exploring a procedurally generated castle filled with unique biomes like the enchanted Kerguelen Plateau and the challenging Axis Mundi. Each heir has their own unique traits and abilities, making every run feel fresh and exciting. The combat is fast and fluid, with a wide variety of weapons and spells to master. You'll need to be on your toes to survive the challenging platforming sections and intense boss battles. And with the new relics system, you can gain powerful abilities that can change the way you play. Rogue Legacy 2 is a must-play for fans of roguelites and platformers alike, offering a rewarding and addictive experience that will keep you coming back for more. Marvel Rivals is a fighting game that brings together Marvel's most famous heroes and villains in exciting one-on-one battles with flashy moves and powerful abilities. The combat is fast-paced and feels really satisfying, especially when you pull off special moves. The graphics are fantastic and the voice acting is spot on, really bringing the characters to life. I had a lot of fun playing through the story mode, but it ended sooner than I expected, and I was left wanting more. The multiplayer is fun, but could use some tweaks for better balance. Even with these minor flaws, it's a must-play for Marvel fans. It's one of those games that's perfect for quick matches or long play sessions.
That's 3! Wow, 4 in a row! 5!
Silent Hill 2 Remake is a survival horror game that beautifully brings back the eerie world of Silent Hill with modern graphics and sound design. It captures the creepy atmosphere perfectly, making every corner feel unsettling. I really enjoyed exploring the detailed environments and solving the challenging puzzles. The emotional story still hits hard, and the improved voice acting adds to the experience. The combat is a bit clunky, but it didn't bother me too much because the focus is more on exploration and story. If you love psychological horror, this remake is definitely worth checking out. Prince of Persia: The Lost Crown is a side-scrolling action platformer that brings back the classic feel of the old games but with a fresh, modern look. It mixes fast-paced combat with clever puzzles and platforming challenges, making each level feel really exciting. I was really impressed by how smooth the movement feels, especially when chaining jumps and wall runs together. The boss fights are fun and require some strategy, but some of them felt a bit too easy. The art style is beautiful, with vibrant colors that make the world feel alive. Even though some of the puzzles were a little repetitive, the combat and platforming kept me hooked. Stellar Blade is an action RPG set in a futuristic world, and it's all about fast-paced combat and exploring beautifully designed environments. The visuals are absolutely stunning, and the combat feels smooth and satisfying, especially with all the cool moves and combos you can pull off. I really enjoyed the boss fights, which were challenging but not unfair, and they kept me on my toes. However, the story felt a bit shallow, and I didn't connect much with the characters, which was a little disappointing. Still, if you love action games with great visuals and fluid combat, it's definitely worth checking out. It's one of those games that's just fun to play, even if the story isn't the strongest.
People just reported they're crossing the gap. Extend the search.
Oh no! Quick!
A Plague Tale: Requiem is a thrilling follow-up to its predecessor, elevating everything that made the first game special. Set in the 14th century France during the Hundred Years' War, you control Amicia, who must protect her brother Hugo from a world full of danger, including massive rat swarms. The game intensifies the grim and emotional tone of the first, with heightened stealth mechanics and a deeply depressing story. While the gameplay remains familiar, new elements like NPC allies with unique abilities bring fresh strategies to stealth sections. The rats, now a terrifying force of nature, create unforgettable, heart-pounding moments. Although the puzzles and stealth sections don't always challenge, the combination of rats, soldiers, and puzzle solving offers some of the most engaging moments. The game's stunning visuals, memorable characters, and immersive world make it a must-play, despite not being as ambitious as it could have been in its gameplay evolution. Overall, A Plague Tale: Requiem is a gripping, emotional journey worth experiencing.
What's wrong? What's wrong?
Ghost of Tsushima is a visually stunning open-world action game set in feudal Japan where you play as Jin Sakai, a samurai caught between tradition and the need to fight Mongol invaders. The game features an exceptional blade combat system, blending elements from Batman Arkham, Assassin's Creed, and classic samurai films. Combat is fast, tactical, and rewarding, with a focus on improving skills rather than grinding for stats. While stealth mechanics are basic and enemy AI can be lacking, the game shines in other areas, especially with its intense cinematic combat sequences. The open world is breathtaking with subtle guidance to exploration and memorable side quests that range from simple tasks to deep character stories. Mythic tales are particularly epic, offering some of the best moments in the game. The photo mode stands out as one of the best, letting you capture the beauty of the world with creative touches like animated environments and particle effects. While Ghost of Tsushima does have some polish issues, especially with stealth, its engaging combat-rich narrative and beautiful world make it an extraordinary samurai adventure. With its emotional storytelling and innovative gameplay systems, it's a must-play for action fans. Space Marine 2 throws you right into the action-packed world of Warhammer 40k, where you play as a towering space marine named Titus. You'll use powerful guns and brutal melee attacks to fight hordes of Tyranids alien creatures that want to eat everything in their path. The action is intense and gory, with huge battles and epic boss fights that will test your skills. The game looks amazing with detailed environments and awesome special effects that really bring the Warhammer universe to life. You can even team up with friends to fight the Tyranid threat together in co-op mode. If you like action-packed games with big guns and even bigger enemies, then Space Marine 2 is definitely worth checking out. Stardew Valley is a farming game that's all about building the life you want, whether that means growing crops, making friends, or just spending your days fishing by the lake. The game lets you take things at your own pace, which makes it super relaxing, but there's always something new to discover. The townspeople all have unique stories, and you can even get married and start a family if you want. The early game can be a bit overwhelming since there's so much to do, but once you get into it, it's incredibly satisfying to watch your farm grow. It's one of those games that's easy to start, but really hard to put down. Dishonored 2 is a stealth action game where you get to play as either Emily or Corvo, who have really cool supernatural powers that let you sneak around and take down your enemies in tons of different ways, like you can teleport around the map, possess people, or even summon swarms of rats to do your dirty work. And the levels are these awesome, intricate environments that give you a lot of freedom to explore and experiment with your powers. The story is full of twists and turns, and the world is super immersive with a unique art style that makes it feel like a painting come to life. Plus, you can choose to play the game like a ghost, leaving no trace, or go in guns blazing and cause total chaos, which adds a lot of replay value because you can try different approaches each time. Now, the AI can be a bit wonky at times, and sometimes it feels like you get spotted when you shouldn't, and the story, while interesting, isn't quite as gripping as the first game. But overall, Dishonored 2 is a fantastic stealth action game with awesome powers, a cool world, and plenty of choices that make it a blast to play.